It is some monkey business. I think we should change the name of the show. I got some ideas. I'll tell you about them off later on. Yeah, the microphone you have to put in your face. I don't know if you realize that or not.
I don't like putting things in my face.
Anyway.
Why would we change the name?
I don't know. Maybe something like Monkey Express or something. The Monkey Express podcast coming at ya. What's going on, people?
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, guess what?
We've missed everybody.
We have. It's my fault.
Yeah, it is actually.
This time it's my fault.
Ken felt like he wanted to be cradled and spooned last week, so we had to do that instead of doing the actual show. There'll be video of that later up.
Yeah, no volunteers for that. Other than you.
What do you have over there that's so important?
What are you talking about?
You see, guess what?
Oh, well, I was going to tell you that last week was my fault, but the 78 weeks before that was all your fault.
Oh, no. These people don't know about that.
Well,
the 4 people that listen to this, they don't know about that.
I'm just telling you right now.
Well, on the show today, since we missed last week, we're going to have a double interview. That's right.
Yeah.
2 interviews in one show.
It's a menage interview.
Yes. A guy by the name of Duane Morano.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to high school with this guy, and now he's a big-time rock star.
I didn't know you went to high school.
Okay. Anyway, he's a big-time rock star now, and he's playing with Terry from XYZ and Bill and Mike from Firehouse, guys from Extreme, guys from Giant, guys from
Sexy Nita.
Oh yes. So anyway, we'll get into that. We're going to talk to him for a little bit and see how all that came to be, and then we're also going to talk to social butterfly Daniel B. Hill.
And just
Enuff Z'Nuff.
Right. Just to put this out there, you might want to stick around and listen to that interview if you're a cruise goer.
Hint, hint.
Just saying.
We're not specifically talking about any cruise.
No, not
just
any particular cruise.
Right, just a cruise. If you like cruises,
a cruise.
I think Dan likes cruises as well.
Yes.
We'll talk to him about that later on as well.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, there's a little sadness in the news before we get really started.
Way to bring it down.
Yeah, well, it's a guy, but it's 12-year-old Australian cattle dog that was in David Lee Roth's video and was on the track "Honey Baby Sweetie Doll" on Van Halen's last album. He died. He had arthritis, all 4 of his limbs. He couldn't move, and nobody really cares. But it's.
I was just gonna say of news that we should have just skipped over.
Yeah, but
that was it.
But you're such an ass. Come on, we saw this dog live in concert, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, because he put them all on the video screen
for 25 minutes. I know, but
yeah.
David Lee Roth's dog died.
Hey, guess what?
What's that?
In better news, in 48 hours, I'll be at M3.
You know what? Piss off. I can't go to M3.
Sorry.
For many reasons, but I won't be able to see it. So what's the quick rundown of M3?
Hold on.
Oh, we don't know this? We're usually on top of things.
I had it up here on my phone.
Okay.
Here it is.
Well, I know it starts out with Kip Winger doing a little VIP thing.
He's doing a VIP thing, more than likely acoustic, similar to what was on the Monsters of Rock cruise last year. Enuff Z'Nuff, ironically, kicks off the actual show.
Okay.
They're on at 6:50.
That would be on Friday, and then followed
by our buddy Brandon Cook and Black and Blue, and Kix will end the show that night because Kix plays every year
as they
M3.
should.
Yeah,
seeing as how there is a thing.
Right.
And then
their hometown show.
Who else we got quickly on this thing? Just run through them real quick.
Okay, Saturday, Tora Tora starts the day, followed by Autograph, Kingdom Come, Danger Danger, L.A. Guns, but not the Tracy and Phil L.A. Guns. This is the Steve and Kelly Nichols L.A. Guns. Steven Adler, his solo band. Then Firehouse, Warrant, and Whitesnake is on Saturday.
Who you want to see there? One band on Saturday.
Probably. I'm curious to see how L.A. Guns is going to sound.
Bad. But anyway.
You never know.
I know.
Never know. more than likely, but you never know. Probably Whitesnake.
Whitesnake?
Yeah, I haven't been hearing great things about Warrant's performances lately.
Oh, really? See, that's the one that I would be like
Yeah,
geared for.
I don't know. I saw them at M3 2 years ago when we went, and they, mediocre, not bad. Firehouse should be pretty good. Those they should be all right.
All right, then what else? What do we got on Sunday then?
Sunday.
Vane
kicks off the day on Sunday, followed by XYZ, then Bang Tango, then Vixen, my girlfriend, Brittany.
She just doesn't know that.
Quiet Riot with James Durbin, and then Skid Row, Extreme, Vince Neil, and Dokken. However,
Sands.
Yes. Yes. No George Lynch was announced yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, he's got the flu. What do you want? Pneumonia or something?
You know
like
what
that?
I want? I want him to quit being a pussy. That's what I want.
Wow, that's pretty harsh words for a guy you're never going to meet.
I'm just saying. Well, he's kind of buff. He'd probably whip my ass.
Yeah, I think he would too.
But here's my thing, man. Take a Z-Pack and suck it up.
Dude, it's this weekend. He knows if he's going to be sick or not.
Come on, man.
Well, in other news, as what most of you might be aware of is the Monsters of Rock. They came out with a bunch of their bands on this next run of the 10th annual of the ship. Of the ship.
The ship.
Yeah, whatever, of the ship.
Been on a bunch of different ships,
yeah,
but this is the
10th annual one of this one ship. But that's going to include DAD coming back after they missed last year. Bang Tango, Heavy Pettin', Heat, Taiketo, Kicks, Kingdom Come, a lot of the same ones that's in the M3.
Yeah.
You got Slaughter, Tokyo Motor Fist. Know nothing about them.
It's Ted Poley.
I just know Steve Brown's in it as well. Yeah. Lynch Mob, so maybe he's going to be on that one. Pretty Maids, Max Sabbath, gotta love that.
I remember when Max Sabbath played at Fubar.
They play locally all the time.
Yeah,
which is funny. So Black and Blue is going to make their return. Firehouse is there. Thunder, Striper, which is like so far the draw for me of this cruise.
Yeah,
for me it's that. You got British Lion. You got Lizzie Borden, Steelheart, Heaven's Edge, Keel, Honeymoon Suite, Burning Rain, Winger, Y&T. And that is all that's actually announced just yet.
Right.
There is also, they're bringing back Rick Allen to sell his expensive artwork again.
Yes.
Which, why even have that as an announcement at this point?
Yeah. Because he walks around, talks
great.
to people.
Super.
Kisses babies.
I walk around, well.
Nobody wants you kissing their baby.
If I was on it, I'd walk around. I'd kiss babies. But so that's going on too, and the booking started today. And if you didn't get in, chances are you're going to get a crappy room. And sorry to hear that, but we may have some other news later on. But we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somewhat related to Monsters of Rock Cruise.
Somewhat. Gotcha.
One of our favorite bands, Lies, Deceit, and Treachery.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be scrolling my Instagram today, and they are in the studio as we speak, recording their record.
Nice.
Just thought I'd put that out there. Right?
May have to send a line out there to my good old buddy Mick and say, "Hey, buddy, let's get a little sneak preview of that, huh?"
We could get Mick, Jimmy, Lon, all of them. We could get any of them on there.
Yeah. See what they've got to say.
Andrew.
Look
at that. We named him
Andrew's
all.
busy. Andrew's busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So there's still a couple people they have not announced for the cruise that I kind of feel like maybe on the horizon of being announced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel with the announcement of Slaughter, you almost have to expect that Vince Neil will be on.
Yeah.
I have that feeling.
And I think it's going to be funny that Slaughter's going to be on with, and then Blast Elias is going to be on with Burning Rain as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be neat.
Yeah, it'll be kind of
like
reunion. That Bullet Boys LDT thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bad blood there.
No, I don't know.
This is where the Bullet Boys there is.
I do wonder if anybody's finally rented the space on Bloss's drum set.
I don't think so. I think that went directly, that phone number, didn't it go to his to the record company or something like that?
No idea.
I don't know. There's so many bands that are on this Monsters of Rock that I really don't even know. I know the names, but I'm just not very aware of their music, and that's the main reason I'm looking at them going,
Yeah. I'm kind of expecting a Dangerous Toys announcement.
Yeah.
I'm kind of expecting Vixen to be back on again.
I don't think Vixen's going to be on again.
No?
I don't think so.
I don't know. They seem to be on every year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see them
Faster
on again.
Pussycat, they're kind of a staple.
Yeah, they are.
So I guess we'll wait and see, but
like, I mean, do you know anything about Heavy Petting?
I know they had like one song.
Yeah. Heat? Anything?
No, don't know anything about them.
Tokyo, obviously, is a new thing. Pretty Maids?
I know of them.
Same
Never
thing.
really listened to them.
Lizzie Borden?
I remember Lizzie Borden from back in the day.
Yeah, but I couldn't name a song.
No, I was never a fan.
Yeah. Keel, I was never a fan. Heaven's Edge, I have a cassette, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Keel had the right to rock, and, there wasn't much.
Who says they had the right
that.
to rock, though? Let's be honest. British Lion, that's a Steve Harris thing. That's actually a good. It's a good band. I mean, I've heard their stuff before too.
Right.
It's
well, that goes hand in hand with the Trooper beer parties too, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Honeymoon Suite. I mean, that everybody says they're great live. All I know them as a pop rock type of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just it's a weird lineup for me. But it is the 10th anniversary, so maybe they got something up their sleeve.
Poison.
You think?
I still think Poison's going to be on.
Yeah.
I mean, and that like I said, well, we've had this discussion all week long. I don't know that will make me run out and book.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know who can make me run out and book at this point. They have a lot of what I like to call a bunch of $5,000 bands. Meaning that bands that are at the lower tier to book in order for them to save their money to book a really big name for the 10th anniversary. That's what I think they're doing with all of these, the Burning Rains and the Steel Hearts and stuff like that. I don't think that they are really commanding a lot of money, so I think they're going to save their money for a big name yet to be named.
But who did you mention? Winger?
I did.
Oh,
yeah. So the ones that were already confirmed and out there that somebody leaked, they're actually officially out there now.
What did you just say? Official leak?
Officially.
Official leak.
Officially leaked. Shut up, man. All right, I tell you what. Let's not listen to you anymore. Let's listen to a buddy of mine.
Such a dick.
Yes, I'm a dick. Duane Morano is a guy by the name of Duane Morano.
All right.
Idiot. I'm gonna go ahead and edit. I'm gonna edit that one. 1340. Duane Morano is a guy I went to school with, and he was always one of those rocker types in school. And the type. He was always listening to music. He had stuff written on his folders, all band logos.
I don't know the type at all.
Shut up. You know what? I'm just gonna get in the interview.
Hey,
how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
This is awesome to talk to you. Somebody from my very own hometown, Duane Morano. I went to school with this guy. This guy probably doesn't remember going to school with me, but that's fine. I think we were in a lot of the same classes, but he still doesn't remember me. That's okay. I wasn't a popular guy in school, and I don't care.
I don't remember you from
neither
school
was
either.
I.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not a popular guy now, so nobody cares about that. But I'm very happy to see that out of, God, there must have been like a good 40, 50 people in our school alone that were into the music scene, but you seem to be the only one that's been successful at this point. So I'm thinking that all this time since graduation in 1989, so you must have been doing some backup tours type of stuff, or I'm thinking maybe studio musician. What have you been doing in your days and nights and since graduation?
Oh, let's see. I played the band I was in high school with Dan and all those guys. We continued on for a little bit, and then found a little bit of success on 98 Rock with a song. But then the grunge scene moved in, and then all that changed. So naturally, that never led to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then got into a couple of cover bands since then. Then started going on tour, backing up different acts from the 50s and 60s.
From the 50s and 60s. So I could have seen you with Sha Na Na or something like that. What?
Legends of Doo-Wop, people like that.
Really?
Played with Johnny Maestro in the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, Johnny Maestro. No kidding.
Yeah, all the people that live in the Port Richey area,
Yeah, right. Johnny Maestro, a friend of mine's father, is a very huge fan of the Brooklyn Bridge there.
Oh, nice.
But okay. So what do you do now as a day job? Just say, or is this your thing now?
No, day job. I'm actually an accountant, and I pulled the accountant hat off to make the CD.
See, that's actually kind of what I was getting to. I'm like, okay, you've got to be doing like some really cool stuff. You got to do the, you know, playing backup musicians, studio musicians, this and that and the other. I'm an accountant. I'm just an accountant. That's all.
Hey, well, why not?
I'm expecting some like big story or something like that. Well, you know, I went on tour with this band and that band, and you know, I was behind the curtain guy for the Go-Go's or something. You know, something. I don't know where I pulled the Go-Go's out.
Just crunching numbers, man. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, but that's
all you got to do.
That's
Exactly.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome, though.
Exactly. You start crunching numbers, and you meet some of these guys, and it's like, hey, I got a question about this. You know, what's the best thing for my band? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you do like Pat Badger's taxes or anything? Is that how you got them?
Legally cannot answer that question without losing my license.
All right, so you've got like anybody who's anybody these days on this new release of yours, Incognito, that's due out what May 17th, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, May 17th.
So not too far from now. You got to be excited from that.
Oh, I'm stoked. I'm really excited to finally get this CD out there. It's been a long time in the making. Took us about, I would say, 2 years to make it because everyone was working on it in between their tours and between my day job. So it was like, you know, like when Pat went off to Australia with Mr. Big and all that, you know, we had to stop recording and then he'd get back, have, you know, extreme shows here and stuff like that, plus his new project, the Dark Desert Eagles, he's working on. So, you know, we'd work around that. And then Terry had Great White going on, so he was always away doing something with them. And now he's got XYZ going on.
Right. So give us a big rundown of everybody that's on your album, guest-wise.
Let's see. We've got Terry Lewis singing some songs. Danny Vaughn from Taiketo is singing some songs. A friend of mine named Brian Cole, who recently fronted Giant for their reunion show out in Nashville. He's singing on some songs. My old friend Dan that went to high school with us, he's on there. Yep, he's singing on there. Let's see, I got Michael Foster from Firehouse playing drums. Got Kevin Figueredo from Extreme. He's doing some drum work. Pat Badger, of course, from Extreme too. Let me think. Nita Strauss did a guitar solo on there. Shane French from Millennium and Tier, you know, another Tampa Bay guy. So he did some stuff. Chris Lester, who played with Sully Ernest from Godsmack, he was in his solo project. He's doing some stuff on there, and Tony Franklin's playing bass on a couple of tracks, and it's just a whole bunch of people.
I guess so. So what did you do? Did you just like hang out at the front of their houses and wait for them to come out and be like, Pat, please, Pat, come on, please. I mean, how did you actually get all these guys roped into doing this?
Well, actually, it all started with Bill about 12, maybe 10 years ago, I want to say. He was playing a show at Bourbon Street, and the backline company delivered the wrong amp. Ooh. I own the amp that he needed, and since I used to play that same club, the owner of the club called me and said, hey, we got a problem. We need a 100-watt Marshall, and I know you've got the model they need. Firehouse is playing. Do you mind letting us borrow it for the night? So I said, okay. So I went down there, met Bill, and he's like, oh, thanks a lot. And we just hit it off and stayed friends for all these years. And then finally, when it was time for me to do a CD, I knew we had a home studio and whatnot. So I was like, hey, would you mind helping me out with this and working on it? And, you know, he was more than happy to give me a hand.
That's awesome. And plus they were local. They were local at that time, right? I mean, like they lived locally.
No, they used to live local, but then they moved. So CJ's still down in Florida, though.
Oh, is he?
I want to say he's over in the Orlando area.
All right. Yeah, I remember working at a music store, and they'd always come in and check to see if their albums were fully stocked. I always got a kick out of that. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, good for them. But well, man, you do have a lot of people, and I guess you have Greg Serio to think about for all this, then, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
Yep. Used to always play Bourbon Street with a band called Martha Quinn at the time.
Oh, that's right. No, I do remember that. You don't remember Martha Quinn?
No.
I remember hearing it. I don't think I've ever seen you guys perform, but I remember seeing that. So now this album is very easily could have been released in like 87, 88, 91, something like that. Did you go for that?
Mm-hmm. Went for that purposely. So I figured if I'm going to have a CD out there, it's going to be the music that I loved growing up with.
Awesome.
And I wanted to, you know, make it sound like that. That was the stuff I liked playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, you know, I did the whole doo-wop thing and the 60s thing and, you know, did the funk thing, played the modern keyboards and stuff like that with different dance bands around Tampa area and whatnot. But now it was finally time for me to do something for me, So I was like, this is what I want it to sound like, and, started going at it with a pen and paper, and here it is with the CD.
That's awesome.
That's the way to do it, though. I mean, you go with what you know. You go with what you love.
Exactly. If you're doing it for anything else, don't bother doing it. It's not worth it.
Especially when you're an accountant. You're already making money that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
I could tell he's making money by looking at his walls on the studio there. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. There's just a couple there. Just a couple. I see an N4 and a couple of Vi gems up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a nice collection.
That's a funny story. The N4 that up here, actually got that off of Nuno.
Oh, I knew you were going to say
joke,
that.
Which it was actually funny. When I started talking with Pat, the reason we started talking in the first place was because I was basically am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
All right, I was a smart ass basically, and he was like, "Oh, check this out, you got this." And I turned around and I said, "I wanted one of Nuno's guitars, but you didn't have it, so I just took second fiddle." And from there we just kept chatting back and forth. And then a couple of days later, he's like, "Hey, by the way, Nuno's selling this guitar. Are you interested?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, sure." So I got the N4.
I have an N2 that I'll trade you.
I figured with the results of that story that Ken over here was going to drop on the floor, be like, "Are you kidding me?" Just like passing out. He's like, what I wouldn't have given to have that option to purchase that.
I'd probably trade my Jeep for that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those the wife killed me purchases,
Yeah, but how many opportunities are you going to have for that though?
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
You got to do it.
Yeah, I've looked up to the guy as a guitar player, since high school. So naturally for me, it was like, I got to do it.
Oh, man. I finally met him after all these years. We went on the Monsters of Rock cruise this past one, and I finally met him. And, man, I don't get nervous meeting anybody anymore. And I thought I was going to pee my pants when I met him. I was like, holy shit, finally. After like 30 years, I finally have tracked him down. It's insane. But, yeah, super cool. Him and Kevin. I ended up talking to Kevin for like an hour one night drinking beer. So that was
nice.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, Kevin will be on the show here soon. I was talking to him about that. But okay, so Incognito comes out May 17th. What is your favorite track on that thing and why?
Probably all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Politically correct answer, all of them, because there's different people on each one,
right.
Now, if I had to pick favorite tracks, let me see. After the Love, I really liked. I thought that was the one that I thought caught the most amount of energy as far as what best described the project, because that was the first song we started recording and everything else. So it's got a lot of milestones.
Right. Now, did you write everything on there? It was just a big collaboration with everybody, or?
Let's see. Me and Dan wrote most of the CD. Mm-hmm. And then there's a couple of songs written on here with me and Terry and a guy named J.K. Northrup, who's played with a bunch of people. He used to be in XYZ for a little bit with Terry and did one of their CDs with them. So he helped co-write, I think, 3 songs on here along with Terry.
As far as how to go about purchasing the CD, I see that it's available on your website. Will there be any digital?
Yeah, we have a pre-sale link set up on iTunes right now, and we're still waiting for Spotify to come online and a couple of other places. Amazon Digital, you can get it there as well.
Nice.
Google Play should have it, and there's going to be a few other places, but some of them don't do pre-sales, so they won't make the links active for you to purchase it yet.
Gotcha.
But you get more. You get more money.
Prime example.
You get more money out of the deal if we physically purchase from you.
Oh, yeah. If you purchase it from the website, there's no middleman.
So that's what your guys are going to do. If you're listening to this, you're going to buy this thing from the website, screw the Spotify, just listen there. Yeah. And then you're going to purchase this, and you never know. Maybe he'll sign it and throw one in there for you. Who knows?
There you go. It's DuaneMorano.com in case anybody couldn't figure that out.
And it's Duane, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there going to be any kind of tour?
We're working on some dates now. the biggest thing is trying to work the dates around everyone's schedules.
Right.
Because everyone's booked up on the summer.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That makes...
Yeah, but we got a couple of different options going on right now,
Little
but nothing
ideas,
I can really say solid yet.
Right. Well, we're going to keep in touch with you, and then you can let us know, and we'll definitely blast out those dates and such like that when those are available.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So you can get a hold of the new CD. Like I said, May 17th. You can get a hold of Duane on Facebook. I'm sure you've got an Instagram somewhere. You got the YouTube out there as well, and pretty soon on all of the music listening sites as well.
Yep.
All right, Duane Morano. I appreciate it so much for you talking to us today.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, cool. That guy was pretty cool.
He was all right.
To.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, I knew him in school. I don't remember talking to him much. I don't know, man. Maybe my memory of high school is just gone. I guess it kind of is. I don't know. But he's got a lot of promising things going on with this new album that's coming out. And again, May 17th, just to let you guys know. And DuaneMorano.com, one more time, is where you can get that.
Yep.
And
Facebook. He's got a Facebook page.
He's got the Facebook. He's got all that kind of fun stuff, and you can even look at some sneak preview stuff he's got that he was doing for the album on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just search Duane Morano there, and then you'll find all the stuff on there as well. All right. So what we're gonna do, instead of me letting you know about the song, we're gonna let Nita Strauss actually introduce Duane's song. Take it away, Ms. Strauss.
What's up, guys? Nita Strauss here, and I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Duane Morano for having me do a guest guitar solo on the track Manhattan from his upcoming album Incognito. I was super excited to be a part of this track alongside Pat, Dan, Michael, and Danny, and the track kicks ass. Really, really fun solo to play, so make sure you guys all go check it out. I'm super excited to be a part of it because I love to see people that are just have regular day jobs, regular normal lives, taking off that accountant hat for a day, putting on the rock star hat, and making such a kick-ass song. So check it out. I'm going to be checking it out as well, and rock on.
question for you.
Okay, I have an answer.
Little trivia.
Let's see if our answers match up.
What do Paul Gilbert,
Yes.
Derek Davis, who's at Babylon AD,
Mm-hmm.
Janet Gardner,
Mm-hmm.
Dizzy Reed, and Duff McKagan all have in common?
They've all slept with Lorraine Lewis.
That may be true. But
I haven't.
what
I
else
really
do they
don't know.
have?
I don't have the slightest idea.
All of them will have solo records coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it? What is this? The year of the solo record?
You know what? If it is, then so be it, because there's some good stuff out there.
No, I mean I don't mind it. It's just strange because you look down news articles and it's like, hey, this person's solo record. Hey, this person's.
Did you hear Derek Davis's stuff though?
No, I haven't yet.
It's a little bluegrassy.
Is it?
Blues, not bluegrass. Swing blues, if there is such a thing. Yeah. It's.
We'll listen to it.
It is what it is.
But when I saw that Janet Gardner had a solo record coming out, it kind of made me go, really? You quit Vixen so that you could do solo stuff?
Yeah, she was always doing solo stuff, but
No,
I guess she
know
wanted
that,
to.
but it's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't like your stuff anymore. I'm going to do my own.
I don't know. I don't like your soft pop rock. I'm gonna do my own soft pop rock.
But and then the Duff solo record, he kind of already had that other like Loaded, Duff McKagan's Loaded. Right. I mean, wouldn't that kind of be solo stuff?
Yeah, but if you're gonna look at it like that, you got to look at the all the Slash stuff too. You got Slash the Conspirators, you got Slash the Snake Pit. That's all solo stuff.
That's true too.
So
sort of. Well, I think the Conspirators is more of a band now because it's been the same guys.
Yeah,
for
now.
years
But
now.
I think when it first started, it was just okay. We're gonna call you guys this because you guys are a band and I'm here with you. But I think now it's a thing.
I tell you what, though, man, if I was going to start a band, I would kick a freaking litter of kittens to have Miles Kennedy singing for me.
You leave those kittens alone.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't actually do it, but Miles Kennedy is a badass singer.
Yeah, I really dig him. So, you ever hear of 6 Degrees of Van Halen?
I don't think so.
Apparently, it's a new band that is starting.
Oh,
up.
It's a band. I thought it was like a game where you had to link up past members or something.
No, guitarist
something like
Bart Walsh, who is with the DLR band, and Atomic Punks is putting together a new group called 6 Degrees of Van Halen, which has got like all the David Lee Roth era stuff. But he's got Billy Sheehan on it. He's got Brett Tuggle, who's a guy from he plays keys and guitar. He was in Fleetwood Mac. He was in David Lee Roth's solo band. Paul Shortino playing, doing the vocals, but he's wanting all members just to rotate. He doesn't want them to be solid members. He wants it to be, and they're all going to play old Van Halen stuff.
Sounds like Green Jelly.
Yeah, something like that.
But I don't know. I mean, whatever.
It's just, anybody that has anything related to Van Halen is what it's going to be. Like like Wolfgang could be in there eventually.
I doubt it.
Michael Anthony could be in there if he wanted to. That type of thing. But as long as it's somehow related to Van Halen, that's what they're doing. Oh, well. Hey, did you see the picture of Jeff Tate posing with the new singer of Queensryche?
Oh, yeah.
From
actually,
way back when?
Yeah, Todd posted that. Yeah, I happened to catch
Could
that.
you imagine that, man? Just like being like, I'm going to take your place one day.
Yeah. That would be so funny if he like jokingly whispered that to him. Someday I'm taking your spot, buddy.
You're taking the picture with me, pal.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around.
And by the way, buy some deodorant.
Yeah, no kidding. I wish I had that picture.
Oh, God, man. Met that guy twice, and he stunk both times.
You know what's funny? I met him once, and I couldn't figure out who it was because I'm looking at the other guys, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's stinking. And then I realized it was him afterwards.
Yeah, when you were doing the show on the radio, I rode up in the elevator with him.
Oh, did you? You were there for that?
I was there for that, and I was like, oh, my God, seriously?
Yep.
Twice?
Stinky son of a bitch.
Yowzer, Stanley, what's up?
Maybe it was in his hair, and that's why he shaved it. You just used a Stanley reference.
I did.
I caught that. Oh, that's great. You know what TuneCore is? I know I'm jumping all over the place right now. You know what TuneCore is?
Cartoon porno? I don't know.
I like it. It's an independent digital music distribution, publishing, and licensing services. So an independent thing, so that the fastest growing music genre in the world in 2018 was heavy metal.
Well, like new or just resurfacing?
It doesn't say. It just says the most interest basically was heavy metal. It got a 154% increase, followed by Japanese pop.
All right. That's what I thought TuneCore was.
Which was 133 increase, followed by R&B, which is 68. K-pop, not to be confused with J-pop, was 58% increase. Yeah, who cares about that? But just it's a good thing. It's a good thing that this stuff's finally coming back around and people are actually realizing it.
Well, that's because all the music that comes out nowadays is crap.
This is true.
You know, I don't know. I could go on a soapbox and preach for days about this stuff.
I can go on a soapbox too, but I'd break it. Anyway, all right, let's move the show along a little bit here.
I know who you could give the soap to.
All right, we came back around. Love it.
Yeah,
anyway, all right, so on the phone here, we're going to be talking to a Daniel B. Hill.
Yep.
Not too bad. Just getting ready for M3 here.
Oh, that's right. You guys are playing Sunday, right?
No, they're
so
playing
it's not
Friday.
Sunday.
They're
Oh,
playing
Friday. Well, that's what I meant. I'm all over the place.
We're playing Friday. We're the first band on after Kip Winger does his VIP set.
Mm-hmm.
So we're basically opening the show here.
Gotta like that.
Yeah, man.
Have you
Excited.
played?
My first time to M3.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you had played there before because that venue is super cool.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be fun, dude. But it's gonna be raining a little bit, I think.
Yeah, you'll be covered though. It's all right.
Yeah. So we'll be all right. It's gonna rock nonetheless.
Yes, I'm actually flying up there Friday morning.
Oh, dude.
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So we'll see you guys there.
Absolutely.
Cool.
You'll see one of us there. I can't make it. Of course. All the fun stuff I miss, you know.
Duty call.
Yeah, something calls. Anyway.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How in the hell did you end up, you're like, what, 23, 4, 5, something like that?
Oh, man, you're real generous. I appreciate that. I am 30.
Get out of here. You look like a kid.
Thank you. It's the vampire gene.
Is it really? Okay. Well, how the hell did you go from being in local bands, I'm assuming, right? And then all of a sudden you're playing Enuff Z'Nuff. How did that happen?
Chicago.
Yeah. So the story goes like this. So I've been playing and living in Chicago for basically forever. So I was on a boat actually on my way up to a gig in this place called Blarney Island. It's in Antioch, Illinois, which is like north. So Blarney Island is a party island. So you basically take this ferry out to this island and whatever, and it's like a mile away from the shore, and people just go there and drink their faces off and have a good time. So I was playing there. With one of the bands that I was in at the time, and so I get on the boat. I got all my drums on the boat, right, just stacked up. And Tony at the time gives me a call. He goes, he's like, mate, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm on a boat, dude, going up playing a show. And he goes, what are you doing next month? And I'm just like, gigging, doing the thing. And he goes, well, we might need a sub for this tour because the current dude couldn't do it. So I'm just like, cool, man. So I sub out all my gigs and herd some cats and get some ducks in a row. And so I show up to the first show in October, and this is the last tour Tracy Guns did before they got back together with Phil for the real LA Guns deal. And so I show up to the first gig, no rehearsal. I hadn't even met Tori yet. So I knew Chip obviously before, and Tony as well from doing sessions and I was doing some local stuff with Chip. But anyway, so I'm hired on as a sub, and the story goes like this: is that after I think it was like the second gig, they had gotten together and just be like, hey man, like this is the new guy. So at the end of the tour, we were somewhere in Canada, I think, and they're just like, hey man, would you want to do this full time? And I'm like, sure, dude. let's do it. So sub gig turned into a full-time gig.
That's not a bad band to be all of a sudden handed a full-time gig from either.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, all these guys have become, you know, some of my really close friends. So I'm ultra grateful that I get to wake up every day, or most days I should say, and play with these dudes. So it's a good one. It's a good time.
Yeah, but now you have to wake up and actually play with Alex too. So ugh.
Well, Alex, man. Alex is it's funny, like he's TM'd a lot of these tours over the last 2 years. So I've gotten to know Alex really well.
Right.
And when he joined, I mean, it was kind of like the natural fit. So I mean, he was in the band back in '86, you know, before he was the last guitar player to my recollection before Frigo.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
So
no, we know Alex as well. He's a great guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
You know, he's a funny one to watch.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I mean, he's all energy, and I'm all energy most of the time. So it's an entertaining fit.
Yeah, you were friggin' psychotic behind the drums, man.
Nah, I appreciate that.
I mean, I've never seen somebody as drum, you know, play as hard as you do with a big ass smile on his face the entire time. Like he's like, yeah, this is the best thing in the world. Look at me, I'm having a blast, and it comes through, and that's awesome.
I appreciate that, and I mean, I tell people, I'm just like, you know, there's nothing worse than going to a rock show, you know, as an audience member, and seeing just a bunch of bummed out dudes. Or like people that are like really having a bad day, like somebody pissed in their Wheaties, you know, like
Yep.
no one wants to go see a show like that. So, but at the end of the day, I'm ultra cognizant of, you know what, I'm up here playing drums. Plus, you know, I love it, and I'm not so good at hiding emotions on my face, so it kind of just shows up. You know, I'll see pictures post shows from photographers, and I'm like, man, what face was I making there? You know, like what kind of crazy shit's going on? But I love it, man. It's kind of just all comes through.
I guess it's a dumb question, but I guess you were a fan of Enuff Z'Nuff ahead of time, though.
Sure, yeah, man. I mean, I saw them, man, when was the first time I saw Z'Nuff? I think it was 2014 at Double Door, and they were a three-piece. It was Monaco, Chip, and Donner at the time.
Right.
So I saw them there, and of course, you know, I joined this local band. I had moved back from LA, back to Chicago. I lived in Hollywood for a little bit, and the first dude I met on a session, like a totally unrelated session, was Chip. So we ended up joining a band together in Chicago called Super Big, and we would just play, you know, local shows. We did a record together. So we played together for about 2 years before that whole thing disbanded, and I joined Z'Nuff. So 2 or 3 years, I think it was. So Chip and I were really familiar with each other's playing as far as a rhythm section goes. So that it kind of was like the natural progression to go down that road. But yeah, I think it was 2014 the first time I saw him. But yeah, man,
now,
super familiar with. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. What did you listen to growing up? Because you're
so
younger than those guys, and you're younger than we are.
Sure.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So neither of my parents are musicians. I don't come from a musical family at all. No one plays music. So, but my parents, you know, they had a pretty extensive record collection. So it was a lot of Beatles. It was a lot of Zeppelin. It was a lot of Hendrix. It was a lot of CCR. It was just a lot of that kind of stuff. So I mean, they would play Abbey Road and Revolver on repeat. So that's kind of where I on the record player. So that's kind of where I got my start, you know, at a super young age, musically. So thankfully they had some really good taste in music, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, over the years, like, I kind of like followed this wild influence trajectory and ended up hooking up with some older dudes that turned into mentors. You know, I was in and out of recording studios since I was 14. So, it's kind of crazy.
What? Why are you looking at me?
Sorry. my train of thought got a little bit derailed there. I'm thinking like 14. Jesus, man.
Yeah, man.
And I'm trying to think back what I was doing when I was 14, and I'm like playing on a computer in a bedroom, just going doo doo doo, you know. And here you are going in and out of recording studios. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it was kind of a wild ride. So I mean, we had this family friend who I talked to not too long ago. His name is Mike, and he's a bass player, but so I ended up joining this kid band when I was 14 through a family friend with a singer and, you know, a couple of my friends, you know, playing bass and whatnot. Bass, or not bass, but guitar and singing. So we ended up just jamming all the time. That's all we did, like every single day for hours and hours and hours after school. And that's what I would do every day after middle school, just sit down behind my white Pearl export kit in the basement and just jam records. You know, I'd bring my friends over. We'd all, you know, we had a band before this band, but that's all we would do. And, you know, we would listen to records, we'd trade music. And I mean, even though I'm 30 and I'm a young dude, I was the last, I guess you could call it like the last generation of people that grew up before MP3s. So before, you know, we would go to the record store and buy CDs. We'd go to the Best Buy or the Walmart or the local thing and sit there and be like, oh, what kind of cool rock music is you know, in the shelf. We didn't know who they were. There wasn't any internet. So it's like, oh man, this is some really cool cover art. Let's buy this record, you know?
Yeah, or you'd have to read Metal Edge.
Yeah, so I mean, we like, man, I remember buying, I think the first CD I ever bought was Incubus's Morning View or the first Tool record. One of the two. We'd be in our driveway just jumping over garbage cans on our skateboard, you know, blasting Schism out of the boom box with the bass booster button turned on.
That's just crazy. My first CD that I bought was David Lee Roth's Skyscraper. So that goes ahead and puts a scale on our age ranges there. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, like, it's not to say that I don't love that David Lee Roth record, because that's a
yeah, I know.
Sweet fucking record.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, it's kind of nuts. I mean, that was what was available to us at that time until until the internet thing started blowing up. But you know, that was a very interesting transition that I've come to understand later here down the road on planet Earth, because it for us growing up, like the whole torrenting thing, like when you're 16 and you could go on Napster and download something, it first of all, you feel like a rebel, right? You feel like you're doing something dangerous. And B, it's just like, it would take 3 days to download an MP3.
Yes, it would.
So it's just like, oh man, when you got this MP3 and you couldn't find a CD anywhere, you felt, you're on top of the world and that's all you listened to, right? So you had to, in today's day and age, you don't really have to work for shit. You could just go on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever and literally play anything over the course of the last 500 years of recorded music.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there was a satisfaction there that I think parallels going out and buying the record. Of course, like going out and buying the record is obviously king as I'm down the road here and in the music business a little bit. So, but yeah, man, that's what we used to do. Just jam and jam and jam and play and play and play, and that was our lives.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing better than grabbing that new CD, going home, throwing it in, and actually being able to look through the liner notes and stuff like that. I do miss that. But
totally agreed, man. I mean, we had CD. I had 7 CD wallets, that we'd bring into the minivan. The green Honda Odyssey on the way to middle school. And we ended up with a few of them that was when the whole parental advisory deal started coming down the pipeline. So we had these records that our neighbors had, that their parents would let them buy, like the Prodigy, or like when for God's sake, when Limp Bizkit's when Chocolate Starfish came out, we would be listening on the Walkman, with a mono headphone splitter, or just use one pair of headphones, and one dude's got one earbud, and the other dude's got the other earbud, and we're just listening, just like, oh my God, this is the most rebellious thing to do, listening to a parental advisory record when you're 12 or 13 or whatever.
You're such a badass, Dan.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? But like that was kind of the mentality. I don't think that exists anymore, right? Like where music was dangerous.
No, right. Not at all.
Now it's just there. You want it, you go get it, and that's that. There's nothing special about it.
Well, sure, and I mean, like it's, that was a big part of that. So the reason I bring it up is because it was, I think it was like the last few years of that mentality, which I feel very grateful again to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So because everything else just totally did a 180. And now we're at where we're at,
Yeah,
Right.
Back then, if it didn't have that parental advisory sticker on it, you didn't even want it.
Do I really want this one, or can I get this one that looks bad?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like the Wasp
that's
record.
exactly that's totally it.
I think that's the only reason I ever really purchased the Two Live Crew back in the day, was to have it because it had that on it, It was the bad one, and I got to have the bad one. I don't want the edited version. Come on.
And then Luke had Banned in the USA come out after that. I have a gold record of that on my wall.
Sorry to hear that. Anyway, so it's been almost a year since Diamond Boy came out. How much touring you guys got left on this?
Say that one more time.
How many more shows do you have on this, or you keep on this record for touring? Are you just going to keep going until?
Yeah. So I mean, so I'll tell you this: there's more music coming, which is awesome, and I'm really stoked about it. But I can't really say anything too much yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the new wave of tunes are really something cool. So. I mean, the Diamond Boy record did really great for us, and it was just honestly a result of fans of the band really throwing their support behind it. And it took an act of Congress, but I mean the thing, that it charted on the Billboard charts, it charted in the UK. We had a Japan release actually, which is funny. I just got a copy of the Japan release. About, what is it, 9 months later. So I have that actually sitting right next to me. So I'm excited to give that a spin. But, so I think, we've got M3 coming up here on Friday, and then we fly out to Missouri with Ace Frehley, Stars, and Angel the following day. So we got to be up early and get on a plane. So we won't be able to hang out the entire time at M3. But after that, we've got some like Weekend Warrior stuff coming up through the summer. There's nothing like crazy tour-wise on the books until we get to September, which is there's a big European tour right now being put together. So, which starts with Hard Rock Hell at the O2 in Sheffield. So between now and that Hard Rock Hell show, I'm sure there will be some movement on some new tunes one way or the other. So we're just kind of going with it, man. I mean, it's what I would like to do is actually play some more tunes off that record. I mean, we basically have 3 of them or 4 of them in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to get Faith, Hope, and Love in there at some point, just because it's an ass kicker and shows a little bit of a different side of that record. But yeah, we're just rolling with it, man. It's we're having a good time. So it's we'll see what happens.
Cool. Are you on that fancy bus right now?
No, I'm not actually. I'm in my no. You saw that?
I did.
Yeah. That was that was really nice. It was a brand new Prevost. So walking around in that thing was like, okay, I'm not going to get used to this. I'm not going to get used to this. I'm not going to get used to this. But it was a nice little it was a nice little luxury item we had for the East Coast shows over the last week. So it was good.
All right, I have one more question. Over the last year and a half of touring, who has been your favorite band that you've toured with?
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be
a year and a half touring.
And it doesn't even have to be like the favorite band. Who have been like some of your favorite? Like, have you made good friends with people, from other bands?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the guys from Jack's Great White are super cool dudes. Jack included. Jack is a lovely guy, and we got to spend what was it, like 2 months together, a little bit over 2 months. So that was a blast. Man, who else?
There is a right answer here, just so you know.
Well, yeah, I know what it is, too. I mean, we've toured with a lot of great people. I mean, if we're going down the Pump 5 road,
there you go.
Then those guys, yeah, those are Steve, Andre, and Andrew are all really, really nice dudes. So they, they're a joy to be with. So I know they've got some stuff coming up. They've just got a publishing deal, right, or a distribution deal, something like that.
Yeah, we just we flew up a couple of weeks ago to Ohio. They were doing a couple of dates with Every Mother's Nightmare, so we flew up and hung out with them for a couple days.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they're cool.
Very
guys.
cool. Yeah, they're awesome dudes, man. I mean, I love those guys. It was a blast touring with them. Did a whole bunch of shows this year with those guys.
Yeah. Any word on the Monsters of Rock cruise? You guys going to be doing anything like that?
I'll give you the Dave Chappelle answer, and the Dave Chappelle answer is, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
All right.
You heard it here first. They're not going to be on the cruise, maybe? I don't know.
I'm going to give you I'm going to take my, I'm going to recuse myself from answering that one. But I think that you will get an answer to that question sooner than later.
Gotcha. Okay, unrelated. What do you think about cruises?
Man, the last cruise. I'll tell you stories all day long, man. The first cruise I ever went on, believe it or not, was the Kiss cruise.
Oh, no kidding.
But we were playing. So keep this in mind. After I had joined the band, after the Tracy Guns tour in October of 2016, the first thing we did was the Kiss cruise. So we, that was a blast, man. I mean, but for me, it was kind of just like, holy crap, there's all the guys from Kiss just hanging out, and there's Brian Tichy over there, and there's Doug Aldrich over here, and hey, Slash is over there, and it was bananas. Mm-hmm. So I loved that experience. And the other cruise that I went on, I actually took a cruise with my girl over Thanksgiving to the Bahamas. So the thing about cruise ships is if what do you do on a cruise ship, right? Like, you just drink.
That's it.
There's really nothing else to do. I mean, you could run the track and play some basketball, but it's honestly just like you're at the bar, and these bartenders, man, they just know, like, if you buy drink tickets, if you're like a passenger on a cruise ship and you buy drink tickets from these people, they know how to pour drinks so you don't use all of your drink tickets, so the company's making money. I mean, these guys just, these Polynesian dudes just take every single bottle of liquor and dump it in a cup.
Yep.
So here you go, enjoy. So it's so I like cruise ships. I had a really eventful time on the last one, but I've never done Monsters of Rock, so to be continued on that one. I do like cruise. Do you like cruise ships? What do you do when you're on a cruise ship?
About the damn same thing. Yeah,
you're forced to relax.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You get sun. You take a dip if they got a pool. You look at the hot chicks and you drink.
You
right?
can play some bingo.
What else do you do?
You can play bingo, he says.
bingo.
Yeah.
Did you play? They had bingo. They had like celebrity bingo. We did celebrity bingo on the Kiss cruise. And man, I remember waking up. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning that we had to get down to the theater, and we're all on stage with, in sunglasses, just like, feeling it from the night previous. And they're just like, Chip's calling numbers like, B12, bro. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm only a tiny bit hungover right now, but this is kind of cool, I guess.
This is the most.
If you win something, it's cool.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. All right, so you may or may not be on the Monsters of Rock tour. We'll see about that, I guess, in a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever it is, when they make their next announcement. And
yeah,
he says with a grin in his laugh, I could hear it. Anyway,
you can't see me right now.
I can't see you at all. This is true, but I can hear things. So when you were
I can't hide things.
This is true. When you were here in Lakeland, like how long ago was that? Maybe a year ago.
It's got to be close to
a year ago. Yeah. Well, I know I spoke to you because the show got canceled with the LA Guns, and I was complaining about it, and you stepped up. You're like, hey, bro, we'll take care of you. Just next time we're in town, da 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 da. And for whatever reason, I didn't get to that show, so the Lakeland show comes up, and then here this thing comes. I forgot where I was going with my story.
I forgot too.
Jesus Christ, I do that so much anymore.
We'll come out the other side of the wormhole somewhere, dude.
I think he was going to say that you were very cool and you came over and you talked to us and you were down to earth and you were this and you were that. I think that's where you're going with that.
That's probably got something to do with it, but I just wish, man. Man,
I'm just making shit up on his behalf right now.
Listen here, youngster. This is what happens when you get old.
Hey man, the good thing about memory is that even if you get like something like dementia or Alzheimer's, the music center of your brain's not affected, so you still got that.
That is a good point.
Well, that's good to know, because I'm sure when we hit like 70, we're only going to communicate by song lyrics anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. I would love to see that. I'd like to be on a fly on the wall.
All right. I know where I was going.
Anyway,
are you bringing it around?
I know where I was going with my story.
All right.
Damn it, this is great. So anyway, when Chip was up there and he was announcing everybody, he announced you as Dusty Hill's son from ZZ Top. Now, I went to go. Obviously that's not true. I'm assuming.
No,
because you just said right. But however, I type your name into Google, and the very first result is who is his father, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Chip's the one that did this.
No, you know what? I've seen that, and I actually brought it up to the guys a few months ago. I'm just like, man, are people really like? I don't know if you know Steve, the Psycho Steve pressed up, but I told him this same story, and it changes every week. Right now, I'm I think that I'm like the illegitimate son of Boy George, and I think that there's another one. Right Said Fred, related to Right Said Fred.
I thought for sure you were going to say that you're the brother of Lauryn Hill.
I mean, maybe coming down the road. Before the Dusty Hill thing, I was Hank Hill's illegitimate son. So it went from Hank Hill to Dusty Hill, and the Dusty Hill thing, I was kind of just like, all right, dude, like we're playing with people like Ace Frehley and whatnot, and I'm getting every single person after the show would tell me a story about how, like, dude, I've got your dad's hat from fucking 1984, and we drank slushies together at the 7-Eleven, and man, I hope he remembers me. And I'm just like, oh god, like, half of it's like, I hate to break it to you, like it's not like a real thing. So now I've been relegated to the forgotten nephew of Right Said Fred.
That's awesome.
Here we are.
Well, this weekend I'm going to find Chip and tell him to say that you're the grandson of Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Next show.
I like that.
Benny, you know what? Maybe that's in there somewhere. I mean, I'm sure, as you know, Chip has a Rolodex somewhere in his head here of what's going to come next after Right Said Fred.
Oh yeah.
But I don't have too many people after the show being like, "Man, Boy George, cool." So I'm all right.
Well, I just think it's awesome that you came up as a Google search result before, a Google suggestion, I should say. But
I did see that.
That's awesome.
See that. I guess that's cool-ish.
You are now
totally completely.
Yeah, you are now
true.
famous. All right. Daniel B. Hill, drummer for Enuff Z'Nuff, will be at M3 this weekend. New music to come. He might go on a boat ride next year. Who knows? We'll have to wait.
Never know.
Never know. We'll have to see if that's
we
if
might
that's
have
legit.
to rethink that now.
Yeah, we were not going to go on this cruise, but I don't know.
It's going to be hypothetically an eventful cruise.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
If you were to discuss it anyway.
I've been watching a lot of C-SPAN, so I'm giving you lawyerly responses.
There you go. I like it. I like it. All right, man. I appreciate you taking out a little bit of time with us here.
Of course, dude. Thank you guys.
I really do hope that you're going to get a chance to hook up with him, though, at M3 this weekend.
Whoa. Easy how you word these
You
things.
know what I mean. Meet up with. How's that
he is
sound?
a handsome devil, but I do not want to hook up with him.
Rick Rule was quoted as saying, "We are the handsome devils." So
Okay.
let's get
So
that
he'll
straight.
want to hook up with us?
I don't know what is going to happen. But, yeah, no, Dan seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Just like a guy you'd want to hang out with just because he's a cool fucking dude.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of funny because, you know, looking at the dynamic of Enuff Z'Nuff right now with the current lineup, you've got Dan and Alex who are both kind of hyper, all over the
Crazy,
place, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. And Chip is kind of mellowed out in his senior age.
well, now that he's doing vocals, he kind of
Right.
has to
Yeah.
as well, too,
and,
a little
and
bit.
Tori is a real mellow, laid back, but very cool guy. You know what I mean? They're all super down to earth.
Yeah.
And I was gonna tell Dan a story of I think it was my 20th birthday. I'm pretty sure it was my 20th birthday. I was working at Asylum Records in St. Pete, and the phone rings in the store one day. And I pick it up. I'm like, Asylum Records, blah, blah, this is Ken. Frickin' Chip Z'Nuff was on the phone.
How you know it was him?
Dude, nobody has that voice.
Was it like this? Hey, this is Chip Z'Nuff.
And
Enough's enough.
I won't ever forget it because he says, hey, is this Ken? And I go, yeah. And he goes, just calling to tell you happy birthday.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah. And I go, seriously, this is Chip Z'Nuff? And he goes, who are you expecting, Captain Crunch?
Yeah, that was
And-
Chip.
Yeah. And I said, well, wait a minute, man. It's your birthday, too. And he goes, yeah. I go, well, fucking happy birthday to you, too. And yeah, and that was around the time that Animals with Human Intelligence came out. And they did a record release party at Lowry Park Zoo.
Really?
In the little manatee cave.
Why didn't I know about that?
Yeah, and
Jesus.
they gave out, remember the old animal cracker boxes that were like that big you get in the grocery? They were those, but it had Enuff Z'Nuff shit all over them.
But you don't have it anymore.
I had it, and it was in my garage, and something got into the box and ate through
the cookies, of course.
ate
I mean, that's
everything.
what's going
I was so
to.
pissed off. I was so pissed off.
Wow. So you got a call from Gregory. That's nice.
Yeah. Gregory.
That's Chip Z'Nuff.
Gregory.
Greg Rybarski.
Yeah.
That's neat, though, man.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
To have a unsolicited phone call.
Well, I don't know that it was unsolicited.
Now you have
I
to pay
think
for
it
that
was set
stuff.
up.
Now you have to pay for that
Yeah,
stuff
right.
for what is that thing
I
called?
forget.
Who was it? Ricky Rackman put a post out there, said that he was going to do it. He's like, I think it's kind of cheesy, but I'm just going to do what you guys tell me. If you think it's cool, let's do it. If it's not, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, I put on the poll. I'm like, fucking cheesy.
Yeah.
I think those things are ridiculous.
I can't see doing it.
No, not at all. But well, I think that was a very for having two interviews. I think that was a very interesting show
Yeah, I think so.
that
It
we
was
had
pretty
here
fun.
this evening.
It was good. Like if we'd have done this last week, it probably wouldn't have been as upbeat and fun.
Was it upbeat? Was it fun?
This show
Was it fun?
was to me.
Man,
If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
I ain't buying the fun.
It was fun.
All right,
Dan's fun. Dwayne is fun.
Dan's
too.
fun. Well, I'm back at school. I
All
remember.
right. See?
I remember.
Oh yeah,
I remember doing.
You remember him, but he don't remember
He
you.
doesn't remember me, yeah.
So much fun. We almost
Piss
had
off.
beers together.
No, we drank together a few times. Anyway, all right.
At
So
Bourbon Street upstairs in the cage.
Bourbon Street upstairs in the cage.
Yeah, wasn't there upstairs in like a little loft in
Bourbon Street?
Yeah,
It might have been like
way back.
It
In the
might
day.
have been like really tiny when they had like.
Yeah, it was like off to the side of the stage to the right. We went upstairs and there was like a little area up there.
Like tiny.
I don't know why I'm pointing up in the air.
Yeah,
Nobody can see it.
That's all right. You described how big the cracker box was.
I did, and I was careful
Like,
not to hit my.
It was
microphone.
this big, and I'm like, nobody's gonna understand what that
Yeah,
is.
fuck you.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's end the evening here with Mr. Daniel himself introducing our last tune for the day, and then we're gonna see you guys back here next week after.
Yep, a recap of M3.
After M3,
And
right?
Maybe some more MORC talk. Who knows? And
I mean, come on, let's. There can't be any better MORC talk than we already have.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
Thanks, Dan.
Hint, hint.
Thanks, Dan. Sorry, but thanks, Dan.
That is a breaking news.
You heard it here first.
What was that? What was the MTV? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whatever.
Stop beatboxing. So yeah, next week may or may not have another guest. We'll see.
See if we can spill some other beans about
Yeah.
anything like that. Probably not.
Maybe not.
Anyway. All right. Dan, take it away. End the show for us.
Hey, this is Dan Hill from Enuff Z'Nuff. I got a copy of this song 8 hours before recording on it, and it turned out to be the lead single on our record, Diamond Boy. Here is Metal Heart.